Hi guys, welcome back to TJM and my black X300 Sport. We've been neglecting the old girl for a little while lately because there's been some other projects happening, as you all know. However, this is a bit of stuff I've been doing over the last few weeks on it just to see if we can get this thing ready for the road and have it in a nice drive car. Not everything's turned out the way I wanted it to turn out, but you'll see in the video how we're progressing with it, and I've really got to decide what am I going to do with this thing once it's finished, or am I going to hang on to it. There's 2 new projects coming, and I can't do all of them, so sit back and enjoy, and we'll let you know what's going on with this car. Cheers. Well, I've installed the passenger side airbag. It's pretty simple. You saw me take it out, didn't take a video of it. I put the new airbag module in, the blue one, that a subscriber kindly sent to me. Thank you, Andrew. And I've also got my new airbag to put in from another subscriber, Jeff. Thank you very much, Jeff, for sending me that. I will send you some money for it. So we're going to put that in as well, and hopefully we don't blow our heads off. Ensure that battery's completely disconnected, like completely disconnected, like completely disconnected. Okay, we'll attach this airbag back up, screw it back in, and put the cover back on it. Okay, airbag's now all connected up, so the big test is we'll hook up the battery again. Straighten that steering wheel up. Well, here's the big test. Battery's hooked up, airbags on. I think I'm ready. Let's give it a bit of a blow. Go, shall we? Hey, 1, 2, 3, bang! Ah! No airbag explosion. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's start her up. No airbag explosion. Do we have an airbag light come on? Oh, you. Well, that's a bugger. Back to the drawing board. We'll replace the module, replace the airbag. I might just have to go back to my Airbag for Dummies book and check that clock spring, and then have to check all the sensors. What a blow. We need to tackle this ABS light that comes on. It'll go out when the car starts. As soon as you start moving and put the brake on, the ABS light comes on. I thought it might have been one of the sensors, but it's not. It's the ABS module itself, which is going to be proven difficult to remove and replace. Here it is. It's got all these hydraulic lines from front and rear going into the ABS pump, and the module's right down there. Now you can remove the 3 bolts that are holding it, 2 at the front, 1 at the rear, but there's 2 torque screws underneath the module itself that hold it onto the back of the pump. So whether or not we can actually lift this pump high enough to be able to remove those torque screws to get to that module. So here's the module I bought off eBay, second hand. I'm hoping it's going to work. And underneath there's the 2, I think they look like about T20 torque screws under there. So I've got to get underneath that pump to be able to remove those 2 screws. So whether or not I can get my little socket in there like that to do it remains to be seen. We'll try it. Now I've got the vibration bolts off that are holding this thing on, but I've got to get it high enough so I can get under those torque screws. The whole idea of this is not to crack any of those hydraulic lines open, because apparently once you open that up, they're a bitch to bleed, and I don't want to have to do that if I don't have to. Okay, so I've managed to lodge a screwdriver underneath the module itself, which gives me plenty of clearance to get to those torque screws. Just making sure those torque screws are out of the way of that screwdriver, though. That's the only thing I've got to worry about, and you can't see it underneath there, so it's going to be a bit of a pain, but see how we go. Well, 1 off at the back one. I'll try for the front one now. Came off pretty easy. 2 off. Okay, we'll try and slide this thing down. The old module just slides off, That's the new module, that's the old one. It looks older. This one looks like it's even though the pump itself looked old, the module looks new. I don't know if there's any date stamps on it anywhere, but hopefully it is newer and we can put it in and cross our fingers it might work. Well, it's in. It wasn't too hard to get in. In my view, it was well within the reach of a DIY if you want to do it yourself. Anyway, a few little scratches and cuts under there, but it's done. So the biggest test is we'll take it for a drive and see if that ABS light comes on. Okay, we'll start it up first. And that's unusual because the anti-lock lights come on as soon as I've turned it on, which is not good. So we'll drive it and see if it goes out. I can't hold the camera, I'll just put it down. Well, we took it for a drive up the street and the ABS light did come on again. But it didn't come on till quite a long time afterwards. Normally it would just, as soon as it would come on, is about 100 metres up the road. This took probably nearly a kilometre before it came on, so it's sort of telling me that it might be another fault. I've tested the motor and that's pretty easy to do. There's the inlet plug just for the motor pump. Just put some power onto that and see if that motor goes, and it just plugs into the control module itself. So we'll just check to see what else it might be wrong. This is the first model to use onboard diagnostics. So I've just plugged it in and we'll just see if it shows any more fault codes on the ABS. Read codes. No codes detected. Okay, that doesn't tell us much. We'll probably have to go for another drive. Let's put some colour into the seat. Just hoping it dries the same. Otherwise we'll have to do the whole lot. This leather dye. Okay, well, we're fighting a losing battle with this thing. Airbag light still comes on after I've changed the airbags, changed the sensors or tested the sensors and put a new module in there. So there's still something wrong with it. So we're going to ignore that for a bit. And the ABS light still comes on as soon as you drive it up the road a bit, even though I've put a new or second-hand ABS computer module in it, but my diagnostic still tells me that's where the problem lies. So we haven't fixed that yet. So we're going to leave it for a while because we're going to take it down to the paint shop. I'm going to spend some money on it, get some paint going on it. By the time it comes back, I'll be a bit more revitalised and we'll maybe just get a little bit more into those problems that we need to get fixed. So we'll see you down at the paint shop in a few minutes. Mate wasn't there, so we didn't get a chance to take a video of it. All I wanted was that bonnet and roof painted and boot. And he gives me a call this afternoon and said he doesn't want to paint it. I said, why? He said, well, he will paint it, but he wants to charge me pretty much more than what the value of the car's worth. So we're going to bring it back. So we're stuck with this thing for a while. It's such a great car. It just needs some paint and those little electrical problems fixed, but I don't know whether I want to do it or not because there's so many other projects on the go, and
if I put any more money in it, I'm over-capitalising on it, and that's sort of not what I do. I'd rather someone else do it and have it and loved it for their own single car. If they only have one Jaguar, that's great. But when you've got 13 of them, it gets a little bit iffy. So anyway, I'll let you know what's going on with it. So if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up, and you tell your mates, and if you haven't subscribed, just press that handsome bloke down there. He'll look after you, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you guys.